At one point or another, many of us have heard a story and thought, well, that would make a great movie. Sarasota native Catherine Parks acted on that instinct, so she wrote, produced, and starred in her own short film called 50 Words. And she's here to tell us what the whole process was like and how one does that. Welcome, Catherine.
Thank you so much, Linda.
So what was the idea that set all this off?
Well, I knew I wanted to write a screenplay, and I am very involved in the musical theater and the arts world in Sarasota. So I was actually speaking with a friend, Jolie, and she was getting married, and she asked me to speak at their wedding. And so we got together, me and her husband, or her fiance at the time, and she shared their love story. And essentially they met online, and they basically talked my ear off for like an hour about their love story. So it just really got me in the zone of, okay, how do people meet and fall in love? And so afterwards I was writing out the speech for their wedding, and I thought, wow, I'm happily married to my husband, Jonathan Parks. But if I weren't, how could I creatively meet a man in this town? And I thought, well, the next show I do, I could write my bio in the program as a personal ad, seeking my perfect match from the audience. And I giggled a little bit at that, and I was like, you know what? That might make a great idea for a romantic comedy.
So that's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
Well, we have a preview. Let's take a look.
Lily Green, you're that girl desperately looking for love.
Insecure, self-centered actress seeks tall, dark, and handsome.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I would love to get to know the real you.
Well, sometimes you just have to follow your heart. You are so oblivious.
Lily, give me your bio. How many words?
Oh, I love it.
What fun.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness, but you're an actress.
Yes.
Okay, you majored in musical theater.
Yes.
But how did you write a screenplay?
Well, that's a great question. I'm also a writer. I do a lot of writing at Michael Saunders and Company for blog and for video. And my mother's a writer. My dad's a creative. He's a composer, a pianist. And so for me to write something wasn't really that foreign a concept. I just needed to figure out, okay, what's the format for a screenplay?
Right, I was going to say.
How do you find this fancy font? And like
Now, your parents contributed music, right?
Yeah, so I said it at the premiere of a new musical, and I knew I was not we weren't going to do entire scenes, but I would need little pieces of music here.
Oh, in the story.
In the story, yeah.
Perfect.
So I just kind of called my mom, and I was like, hey, Mom, I need a song that is about X and sounds like this. And she was like, well, let me look from my list of what you might want.
Oh,
and it was great.
Mom.
And I know, and she even rewrote some lyrics for me. So there is a little touch of my parents in this as well.
And there's a little touch of a lot of people from Sarasota.
Yes.
How did you come up with actors? You used a lot of local people, right?
We used only local people, yeah. Well, let me start by saying the director was Mark Palmer, who was a local filmmaker, and he's very phenomenal, and I could not have done this without him. And when I wrote the screenplay, I really thought of key people for the different parts, and I was thrilled that I actually got them. And I know a lot of people from the musical theater world. I starred in a show with Charles Logan. I starred in one with Craig Weiskircher, and they were both two of my lead actors. And I was able to sort of write these parts around who how well I thought they could do, and they were amazing.
But that's got to be a challenge around here, getting everybody together at a certain time.
Oh my gosh, it was one of our biggest challenges. We shot for 13 days, and everyone has full-time jobs, everyone has children, everyone is in shows, so to find time when we could all get together to do this, it was very challenging. And then also businesses that we filmed at. We filmed at the Players Center for Performing Arts. We filmed at the Florida Studio Theater, in the Improv, the Bound
we'll
Lab.
recognize a lot of the locations,
Yes,
including
absolutely.
the people and the locations.
Absolutely.
Oh, what fun. Now, of course, you have a premiere tonight, but it's all sold out.
It is
which
all
shows
sold out.
it is going to be a great success. What is your hope for this film?
Well, my hope is that the film will go around to some of the different festivals in in the nation, and it'll draw attention to Sarasota and the arts culture here and the talent here, because I think it's amazing, and I really want to promote that to the rest of the world. And then hopefully this will bring more in the future.
That's great.
And you can write more and more. Well, this sounds so fun. And I'm so glad we've got the facilities,
Yes.
the actors, the musicians, the facilities right here in Sarasota.
Exactly.
Oh, I can't wait to see this. You can find out when you can see it. Follow it on Facebook. 50 words is what you need to look for. And coming up next, McCurdy's comedy headliner will join us.